Okay, so I went out in the garage and I cut, remember those couple of pieces? I just made some bigger pieces. This will be nice once we get something like that going really good. So I have all this kindling here. I'm going to keep going. Keep adding. You know, just keep it going. And once it gets kind of hot, it'll take care of itself. The more stuff you have burning, the better it'll keep burning. And this wood is very well seasoned, as you can see. Nice and gray. I mean, dirty on the ends. It's been outside for a long time. In the sun, in the wind. I stack it. A lot of times when I stack my wood, I cross stack it. So you kind of lose a little space, but it helps things dry, in my opinion. I stack my logs outside like this. Just keep cross stacking it. You know, and it lets it breathe better. So stuff like oak, a lot of people want to burn oak. I don't recommend trying to burn oak very often unless it's extremely cold outside and you have other softer wood like maple or something to mix in with it, because it'll run away from you. It'll get so hot. It also takes about 3 years to season properly to burn in a stove. So anybody that tells you they have seasoned oak and they're selling you, if you're buying firewood and you're buying oak and they go, oh, it's seasoned, and then you try and throw it in your stove and you get erratic fire, lots of smoke, puffing where it goes boom and blows the lid open and puffs smoke at you, and your glass is black. It's because the wood is not seasoned. It takes 3 years before I will even attempt to put oak in here. Cherry, it's a hardwood. A lot of times, a couple of years for that. Other stuff like ash, I think this is ash. I'm not sure. I think it is though. That a year, maple a year. So, anyways, we're gonna put in some bigger kindling and try and get that going. And while we're doing that, since there's bigger pieces now, and before I forget, we'll put these andirons in again. So wiggle them down in there, back into place. That'll help you from catching a hot log out here. And you could keep burning this little stuff. One of the things too is, as you're burning these stoves, I've noticed over the years that I like to keep this stuff around. Say I have a log in there and I'm burning a nice sized log, right? I'm gonna put this in. I'll throw something like this underneath it, 1 or 2 of these. I'll throw them underneath it, or a handful of this, a couple handfuls. Throw it in, let it get going, then throw that on top of it. It just helps things along to have small stuff to burn big stuff. And again, all this stuff is starting to heat up. Everything's starting to heat up nice and even. And that's what you want. You want to go slow so you don't warp stuff. It gets to be a pain in the butt if things start warping on you. But I know we started and stopped this video. We're into it probably 20 minutes now. So you could see, I mean, going an hour to get the thing going, that's really not out of reach. You could get it going much faster. The manual recommends against it. I recommend against it. It's just nice to get this a chance all the way up through the roof to heat up. And today's not a very cold day, so another thing too is if it's in the 40s or the high 30s, your stove's not going to run that easily, especially if you don't have really, really, really dry wood. You got to get down into the 20s and the 10s before it really wants to run well. You could burn it in this warmer temperature, I call it warmer, but it's harder to achieve a draft. So it's really important that you heat this chimney up and you go slow like I'm showing you, or the thing's just going to choke out on you. This stuff was laying in my driveway. I picked it up just from splitting logs. It was in the rain. It was wet. It's been in here for a couple days, so I'm sure it'll burn. Just no need to waste it. And burning seasoned wood is also going to keep everything here clean. You know, it's going to make it easier, but look how clean it is. It's really nice. You don't have to. And while I got you here, I'm going to show you how to clean your glass. A lot of people don't know how to clean their glass. I did have this closed for a second when I walked away, so my glass is a little bit warm. And you're supposed to have completely cold glass to clean it. Well, that's a little cold. This stuff is awesome. If you can find this, it's great stuff. If you cannot find this, and you can't find anything you like, and you want to cheat, take this ash, the gray ash from your stove, and this is all from this stove. Take that gray ash and put it in a bowl. You know, mix some water, get it into a paste, and then take a rag or a paper towel or whatever, rub it on your window. Just like that, like car wax, that paste from the ash. Let it dry, and then wipe it off with a dry one, and it'll be clean. This stuff you work the same way. It's blue. It's like a blue liquid. Bluish greenish liquid. This one's almost done. There. It's that color. Same thing. Put that on a rag. Wipe it on like car wax. It'll dry to a haze. Go ahead and wipe it off with a... I use toilet paper because my bathroom's right here. Perfect, man. Everything's clean. But I haven't cleaned this glass in a very long time. I haven't had to because it just stays really, really nice when you burn clean wood and everything. This spatula, I've been using this for years down here. I do everything with it. Clean the ash out, get little coals that fall out. I throw them back in there. So it's a great little tool to have, and a metal bucket of some sort. So now I've got coals going, and I want to burn something bigger. But remember, every time I want to burn something bigger, I burn something smaller first. So even though my kindling's already going, I'm going to throw some small stuff just because. I'm telling you, it's something I found out over the years. You will be very happy if you follow this. Very happy. It'll help you a lot. So I'm throwing some bigger pieces in here. Okay, we'll give that a second. And once that gets going, we'll come back and we'll show you the next step.